guys, Jason from Lifebeast here, and I'm here to talk to you today about the concept of boring people. A lot of the time, you'll notice a lot of people do things that are habitual, you may think are boring, or just generally go, oh, that doesn't look like a lot of fun, but are they really being boring people, or maybe are they being super efficient individuals in their everyday life? Now, Chris Schwab is this business major from the States that found a lot of, 3 basic principles that what we would consider boring would actually create a lot of efficiency in people's lives and actually make them more successful in the long run. Now, the first one we're going to go over is as simple as writing things down. And I do say simple, it sounds really obvious that, hey, well, if you don't want to forget something, you should write it down, but how many of us actually do that? And when we think about how much memory a human being really has, which has been shown that we can only remember 7 items, give or take a couple, that's not a lot. You know, we have a lot of things that play on our mind during the week. Whether it's as simple as, going to buy groceries, cooking dinner, clean the house, or even, the bills that you have to pay, the project that's due at the end of the month, that meeting that you have at the end of the week, all these highly stressful and even say sometimes non-stressful things take a play in your mind and things fall by the wayside. What happens if you forget that meeting or that project's due? It has a lot of repercussions that do prevent your lives from, moving on in a positive way. So how can we avoid that? We simplify. Just like we have a capacity to remember a lot of things, we also have a capacity to make decisions. At the end of the day, we find ourselves at a dull, a little irritable, we're kind of like low on energy, and we all hear that we're at the sharpest in the morning or whenever we wake up after that good night's rest. So how can we simplify? Looking at this model here, let's break it up into things that we do in our life, the things that we do love, things that we don't love, things that we don't have to do, and things that we do have to do. Now we break that up into 4 blocks. It will pretty make sense that anything we don't love and don't have to do, we should eliminate. There's no sense in doing something that you don't have to do and you don't want to do at all. Now what about those things that you do have to do that you don't love? For a lot of people, it could be as simple as eating your mealtime at lunch. You'd rather be doing something else, focusing on that work project that you're passionate about, or for some people, it's the clothes that they wear. Why don't we automate them? Make them a habitual decision that you don't actually need to think about. Think of Steve Jobs. The man is a genius from both the of the 20th and 21st century, and he's synonymous with the black turtleneck, jeans, and New Balances. The guy decided to simplify his life by reducing his decisions he has to make in things that were irrelevant to him or that he didn't really care about, so he could make more major decisions in the things that he did love, whether it had to do it or didn't have to do it. So we can do this as focus. This is what really matters to us. Now you may say, oh, but that could be boring, fashion's important to me, but throughout the week, throughout your day job, is that really relevant? Maybe make it a decision to be made for the weekend, instead of what you're actually going to do during the week when you have to be at your most productive. Barack Obama famously came out and said that he only had 2 types of suits, a grey one and a blue one. This is another guy that you would not call boring. He makes some major decisions and he made himself the first black president of the United States. So, we've got eliminate, automate, and focus. And lastly, the third correlation that he found with a lot of boring and efficient people was that they needed to take the time to stop and question. Now, at some point, the things we automate, the things that we eliminate, or the things that we focus on are going to change. Our lives change, we evolve, our priorities change, so at some point you're going to realize that, okay, I've automated this meal, I've automated this clothing, a lot of my lifestyle, and it's not relevant to me anymore. So now I've got to reassess my life, take into account what really matters to me, and make a new list for what I want to eliminate, a new list for what I want to automate, and a new list for what I'm going to focus on. Doing these 3 things really will make you a more efficient person. Some people may view it as boring, but at the end of the day, no one's saying that this is something you have to do for the rest of your life. It's only relevant to what you're doing at that point in your life, at that time. And at the end of the day, that's going to make you more successful. You're going to have all this extra time then, with that success, to essentially do more of the things that you want to do and love on the weekends, or with that extra spare time. So, have a think about that. Think about all those things in your life that you can eliminate, all those things you can automate, and take the time to really assess what it is that matters to you. I'm Jason, this is Lifebeast. Send us your thoughts, send us some ideas that you want in the videos that you want to see, and subscribe to the page. Thanks.